Hey guys, well, another fun-filled day on the docket today. I need to replace my garage door opener again. Seems like I just did this. It's probably been 3 or 4 years. My wife thinks two. I know it hasn't been that soon. Looking at the date code on it, it's a May of '08 unit, so yeah, it's not old. It's what's that? Almost 6 years old. So unfortunately, it's a Craftsman, so it does have warranty, but only on the motor, and it looks like it's the logic board that is failing. What happens is it's not closing all the way. It's randomly stopping. It happened the first time, but I didn't know it the day before we left for Thanksgiving. I came out, I think I was getting the luggage, and it was open about a foot. I'm like, okay, that's weird. So I go in and I ask the wife, hey, did you do anything weird with the garage door? Did you leave it propped up for a reason? She's like, no, but I think I might have hit the button twice. I'm like, oh, okay. So I put it out of my mind, closed it, and that was that. Well, I did it again when we came back on me. And I know I didn't hit the button twice. I'm like, okay, something's wrong. So I'm looking, there's nothing obstructing. It didn't reverse, it just stops. It thinks it's closed. So I did some more troubleshooting. It does it kind of randomly. I can't get it to repeat. I disconnected it, cycled it manually. It's not binding anywhere. The springs are working. I can't find anything really unusual at all. So I'm testing it some more. It starts to get worse. The only thing that I can think of that changed is the weather. It's colder, but I mean, it's not dramatically colder, but it does seem to happen more at night when it is a little bit colder. But I mean, still, we're talking 60s instead of 70s or 80s. So I don't know. Looking online, lots of people are having the problems with these units, and that's where I'm getting the logic board diagnosis. So find the logic boards online. They're 60 to 70 bucks, cheapest I can find. And basically, it's just replacing this back end piece with the motherboard in it and the controls. But last night, when I was trying to diagnose it, it was getting really bad. Like, so bad, I don't really trust it to not open on its own. It was stopping 4 or 5 times on the way down. It was still not reversing, just thinking it's out. It would blink the light like it has a power short and then just stop. Sometimes I would even hit the button again. It would go for a few inches and then do it again. I mean, it's on the blink, man. So it's got to go. Luckily, today, last day of real savings for Cyber Monday, which they've kind of stretched into the whole week. You know, they started Black Friday early, they end Cyber Monday late. They want to get in as many sales as they can. And there is a pretty much identical unit. I think it's a Genie or a Chamberlain brand, can't remember, but it's from Home Depot. You know, just as good as this. This isn't anything special, just a basic half horsepower unit. And it's on sale for 97 bucks. So, you know, at least it doesn't cost me too much. I think this one was only 150 or so. Got it on sale from Sears, obviously, but not going with that one again. And luckily, I don't need any kind of fancy features like an external keypad or, you know, a multifunction wall unit or even dual remotes because I've got a universal remote in my car. Neither one of us have HomeLink anymore, so I had to buy a remote because I've had, you know, HomeLink for years and years and years before this, so I never used one. But you know, it's just a basic. It'll come with one wall mount and one car remote, so the wife will get that. I'll use my universal, and I'll put it in. You know, not really looking forward to it, but it wasn't too big of a deal to put this one in. I think it took me about 20 minutes. So, brackets should all fit the same, and you know, the chain units are real easy to put up. That's it. So the other cool thing is I finally got word on a new small project, and that is shooting an actual proposal. So that should be really cool. I've always wanted to do one, and yes, I'm talking about will you marry me kind of proposal. So I got a call from a guy, and he hired me to do the engagement party. I'm like, engagement party? He's like, yeah, after I ask her, we're going to come back and, you know, do some family shots and just a little fun party. I'm like, oh, okay, so you haven't asked her yet? And he's like, no. So long story short, I said, man, I've always, ooh, the mail's here. Well, it's a good thing I stopped the video right there to get the mail because I had a phone call about 10 seconds later. Nothing exciting in the mail, all for the wife. But when I close the garage door to go back in to deal with the phone call, you can see what the door is doing. I forgot I was having a problem. I was on the phone when I went back in, so I didn't check it. But it just stops. It gets to the point where it always does it when a panel is right at the bend here, when it's at the maximum resistance. I mean, it's not hard. The springs are working. I can push it easily by hand. But it's like it's maxing out and it just kind of like shorts and stops. Sometimes it'll do it at this top panel. Sometimes it does it at the first panel, so the door is almost wide open. It's really kind of random, but can't have that happening. That is for sure. And like I said, I don't have confidence that, it's not going to just reverse at any time and leave me with a wide open door all night or when we're not here. So it's got to go. The phone call. It was about another photographer that needed some help. And they always freak out when they have these kinds of problems. Corrupted cards, missing files, accidentally deleted stuff. Usually it's not that big of a deal. There's real good recovery software out there right now. As long as you don't use the card again, fill it up, put new files over top, it's almost always totally easy to get your stuff back off there. So sent her some software and that should fix her up. It happens several times a year around here. Usually though it's from a corrupted card, when the card will just stop working, throw an error code, or they'll see some funny pictures and they'll say, that's not good, and they'll switch to another one. And then they can't get the pictures off the card, because the card will stop working once it detects an error. But recovery software can get in there and pull the stuff off. So what was I saying before the mail came? Geez. Oh, the engagement, the proposal. So anyway, long story short, they're getting engaged, or hopefully at least, at a little local park. And I've actually been there, and you've seen, I think, part of it at least. If you saw the episode way back when Dave and I biked the Pinellas Trail, we actually biked through the park. It was right up near the end point where we turned around, and we biked all through the park. It wasn't on video because I didn't have the front mount for the bike yet, but it has boardwalks. It goes out into the Gulf of Mexico, and it's got lots of trails and stuff. They're not like hiking trails or anything. It's boardwalk around the swampy areas, but it's a nice scenic area. So I'm familiar with it, but I'm not familiar with it enough that I can picture every little area in my head. So I've got to go over there and scope it out. I talked to the intended groom, so I know where he's going to do it. And I got a couple things in my head of where I could be to shoot it, but I need to go over there and see. I need to see the distances and the foliage and where people might be, because it is, a pretty busy park. When we were there, Dave was like busting through crowds of people on the boardwalk. I'm like, Dave, get off your bike, man. He's like knocking people over. Get out of the way, get out of the way. I'm like, dude, chill out. So, it might be a little crowded where he is planning on doing it. So I'm going to go over there, probably do that first, then hit Home Depot up on the way home and pick up my new garage door opener. Oh, one other thing. I can't remember did I talk about headphones yesterday? I don't think I did. Anyway, well, I apologize if I'm going to repeat myself here, but I don't think I talked about it. I talked about it with somebody. I don't remember. Anyway, long story short, the Sony headphones worked great on the plane. Oh my God, the sound was just day and night from the Sennheisers. I could hear everything in my movies. It was loud enough. I mean, they're not like going from talking to screaming loud, but easily twice as loud on the plane. I could hear all the dialogue from a movie very easily. The cool thing is, because it's such a sealed tight fit around, well, not around, but on the ears, they were almost as good as active Bose noise canceling or Sony noise canceling, or any of the good noise canceling, the active noise canceling headphones. The plane noise, the people noise, gone. I mean, just like turned a switch off, gone. Super comfy fit and feel. The foam is memory foam, so it just molded itself to my ears in seconds. Beautiful fit. Awesome sound. Does have that bass boost, so it was really great in movies. I read some reviews. People are saying, "Oh God, I'm an audiophile and I need it flat and I hate the bass boost and it's terrible in movies." Yeah, bullshit. They're awesome in movies. Works great. I watched one of the Return of the King extended DVDs on the way back, and the battle scenes were just, I mean, the percussion and the timbre, it was just, they were awesome. So those are working great, with one critical exception. Now, I told you before, I use them mainly in bed, watching movies and surfing and YouTube and, all that kind of stuff. But I also use them at my desk when, usually when I'm editing, I'll just edit for hours and hours and hours, and the wife hates my music, and I usually put on trance or electronic or rave, and, it's just background music to me, but it's upbeat and it keeps me working. Or I'll do smooth jazz if I'm working in the studio and I'm, just manipulating stuff. And it's just, again, just calming background music. I don't really listen to it too much. Sometimes I'll put on ethnic stuff like some of the Irish channels. It just depends on what I'm in the mood for. Point is, my wife doesn't want to hear it, so I often wear my headphones when I'm working. And the Sennheisers were absolutely perfect for that. I'm not on my tablet. Excuse me, I'm not on my tablet when I'm working like that, so I don't care if they're not super loud. I'm plugging into an amplifier and I can turn up as loud as I want. I don't play them that loud, but saying volume is not an issue. Comfort is. The Sennheisers are literally all day long comfortable. There is zero pressure, there is zero discomfort. You can forget you're wearing them. That's how comfortable and completely transparent they are when they're on your head. They don't have a big spring pressure. They're pretty much molded like a U, so they just kind of slip on. They are completely over the ear. They don't touch your ear at all. They just go onto your head, and they just sit there. They're very lightweight, but very large and comfortable headphones. So I gave my set to my dad before we left Arizona because he didn't have a set, and I didn't need them because I had the Sonys. And, that was that. So I got home. Well, on the plane, this is when I discovered the problem. The problem with the Sonys is if you're like me and you wear glasses, they hurt. They hurt after about an hour of use because they're such a tight pressure fit by design, and they're very comfortable on the ear. My ear, the back of my ear presses on my glasses, and my ear really hurts after about an hour, so I got to take my glasses off. Wasn't a big deal on the plane because I have perfect vision at about a foot, so watching a tablet or a phone without my glasses, no problem, it's the same. So I just took my glasses off on the plane, and I don't wear my glasses in bed, so no problem there whatsoever. But working, I'm wearing my glasses, so I need comfy headphones again. My arm's getting tired, hold on. All right, there we go. Man, I'll tell you, what's that old challenge? Put a dictionary in the open palm of your outstretched hand and nobody in the world can do it for more than a couple minutes, something like that. That's the way this phone feels. I mean, it's obviously a little tiny light iPhone, but you hold something out in your arm outstretched for several minutes at a time, it gets heavy real quick. It's like all the strength in your arm just slowly drains away. But anyway, I ordered another pair of the Sennheisers. Luckily, again, with all the sales going on, dirt cheap, got them for $20 shipped. Pretty much the same price I got them for years ago. So I know they for sure fit. So that'll be my computer pair, and I'm totally happy with that. I did get another pair the other night because I found out Kmart had a clearance on Nakamichis, and they had them for a ridiculously low price. I got a pair for $7. They were listed as over the ear. They are way too small to be what I consider over the ear. They're much smaller than the Sennheisers. They fit like the Sonys, so they're really an on ear. Sound okay, not nearly as comfortable as the Sonys, and obviously not around the ear, so it didn't do me any good for fixing this problem. So I got another pair of headphones. If anybody has a really small pair of ears, I don't think I have big ears. Pretty normal. I don't know why. I would never call them over the ear. They're on ear headphones, and they're comfortable. Not a big pressure fit like the Sonys, but they sound about the same as the Sennheisers. Maybe a little bit less bass, but not for me. The wife didn't want them. She's already got a pair of Beats Solo. So, yeah, I got an extra pair. Anyway, I need to get some coffee and go on out to the park. Oh, and Chloe wanted me to tell you that she's mad at me because I put all her puppy toys up in the Christmas tree. She can't get them. She was a little upset last night. But I think they'll come down tonight so she can play. I'm here at the park, and I might as well do a walk while I'm here. Should be about a mile and a half, 2 miles to do the whole thing. It's pretty much laid out like a big Mickey Mouse symbol. It's a big main loop, and then it's got some branches, and there's a couple fire towers. So the spot I need to scope out is pretty much straight back from where I'm at. So if I go around counterclockwise from here, I should be hitting that on the way out of the park. So I'm going to go around it now, and I'll find a map so you can see where it's at and what the park looks like. All right, so here's a map, and I am there. So I just parked there. Here's the map thing. So it kind of stretches out here. I'll go through here, and then this is all boardwalk through here. This is kind of like a swampy area, and then you got this loop that goes all the way around this little peninsula. And this dock here, this pier, way out into the Gulf, is where he said he's going to do the proposal. And as I remember, it's like a T-shaped pier, so I need to see how big it is. I might be able to just hang out at one of the ends and tell him to, be somewhere in the middle, or maybe I'll have to go way down on this one. I need to see what the distance is, and then I can see what the perspective's like, what kind of lens I need, and stuff like that. Maybe I'll have to be back down at the other end and shoot out towards the Gulf. I don't know. It's going to be a mid-afternoon shoot, so the sun will be pretty much straight up. Doesn't really matter where I'm at as far as that goes. So I just need to see what everything looks like around there to figure out what I need to do. But for now, I'm going to go through this stuff and then swing back, and I'll go out the boardwalk, and then I'll go around here, and then I'll go through here and show you what all that's like. You know what? I'm going to flip the camera around so you get a wider view. Well, that's interesting. Right behind me here, you can see what used to be a big 3 or 4-story fire tower, and it's burned down. I can see charred wood there and a lot of charred ground. So it makes me kind of think arson. It's kind of common around here. Okay, so now we've got a good idea of how big what I'm assuming all of, the little piers are. These are not that big. So, yeah, I'm not going to be down here at the ends. That would be too conspicuous. As soon as I take my first shot, she's going to be like looking at me, and that completely spoils the mood. So that leaves an angle from back there. And that's okay as far as the shot goes. I can have them stand right back here at the end, so I've got a clean shot straight down the aisle. The only variable there is people in the way. So if there are people in my shot, I'm going to have to work my way up real quick and get a clean one. And I don't like variables, so I don't know. I'll see what the other one looks like, but that's probably what I'll have to be doing. Let's keep going. think about this. The two piers here, I know it looks really far away on the phone, but it's not that far away. It's only about 150, 200 feet. So if I have my 200 lens on, it wouldn't be a close-up, but it might be good enough. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna get down there, see what it looks like. I'm presuming it's gonna be the same as this one here. I don't know if I put them at the other end of the T over there, and I'm at the end of the T. You can't see it in the sun. You know, if I put them at the end of it facing me here, and I'm here, that's a really nice shot because it's just them, and I'm guaranteed to have them, you know, looking at me if they're facing each other. We'll see. This right here would be my shot and vantage point if I do it from this side. And this is really close. I mean, I could almost hear them talking from this distance. And I'm right out here at the trailhead, so there's really no place to hide or be that inconspicuous. I suppose I could be sitting on that bench there. That'd probably be what I would do. You know, like I'm here just taking pictures of the park. And I don't know, my biggest thing is, I hate that sign. I'll take you up closer and show you. So that's Wellspring Park. Now let's go to Home Depot Park and get me a garage door opener. Yay. That would be the one. Let's pick one up. Okay, out with the not so old. Well, I'll tell you what, this might be a whole lot easier than I even thought, because it looks like Craftsman and Chamberlain are from the same dang factory. Same parts, folks. Hell of a lot cheaper through Home Depot. Here's the puck. And yup, same part. So that means I can use the same track, same chain. I don't have to detach anything. I just took out a cotter pin. I'll just put that back in. And all I have to do is I already took off the nuts. Just swap out the unit, plug her back in, and that is what you call a 5-minute garage door install, or opener install. Woohoo! Well, here's a couple tips. If you're doing a swap like this one, one thing I didn't consider is the chain has to be put on in a specific position. And now reading through the manual, it wants it basically all the way in the closed position. So I have to orient the puck way down here with this dot, with that hole there. I'm supposed to put a screwdriver through it to locate it, because what happened was it thinks it's in one position and obviously it isn't. So the travel adjustment is way out of whack, but it works fine. So just got to lower it back down. I just put it on these two bins here and work on it here. Not a huge deal. It's only 4 bolts to dislocate the track, and that should do it. So almost there. Oh, and another tip, if you're putting in or taking out, well, putting in a light bulb in one of these, make sure your hands are perfectly clean. It's more important for halogen or other types of bulbs, but even these incandescents, if you've got any kind of grease on your fingers, it can pop the bulb very shortly once it heats up. So I just used a paper towel when I put it in, but make sure you always handle light bulbs with perfectly clean hands, preferably gloves or paper towels or any kind of cloth. So let's get this back down and get the chain in the right position. And yes, I did reuse everything, so it all fits. It is the exact same part from the exact same factory, even the wiring, even the back. There we go. Now we're in the right chain position. Now all I have to do is set my limits, and you simply do that by disconnecting the door from the puck and using the controls on the side to set where it stops up and down. And obviously you know where it's supposed to stop down. Oh, hi little guy. Lots of little lizards around Florida. What are you doing in my garage? How are you gonna get out? Huh? How are you gonna get out? Looking for bugs? Yeah, I like you. You eat the bugs. So anyway, easy enough to set the down position. Just have to match it up to stop where the door meets the puck, and it's just slightly off now. Just need a hair adjustment, and then I'll check up, and then I'll engage it. Alright, well, I think I'm done with this video for the day. Just got some more work to do, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.